This is our third video. In this video, we will discuss NEET Physics 2021 question paper, questions starting from 21 to 30. In this question, they asked a dipole is placed in an electric field. This is the dipole, and in the electric field, in which direction will it move? So you can see that at the plus q charge, the electric field lines are closer than the point where minus q charge is situated, and we know the force formula is F equal to QE. So because E1 is more, so F1 will be more compared to F2, and due to due to electric field, the plus q charge feel a force in the right direction, and due to minus q charge F equal to QE, the force is in left direction. Because electric field lines are more for the plus q charge, so the resultant electric field will be more in the right direction. So our charge or this dipole feel a force or move towards the right direction as its potential energy will be decreases. In the 22 question, they asked a convex lens A of focal length 20 cm and a concave lens B of focal length 5 cm are kept the same axis with a distance d between them. If a parallel beam of light falling on A leaves B on a parallel beam, then the distance d in centimeter will be. So this is our convex lens and this is concave lens. They are separated by distance d. Focal length of convex lens is 20 centimeter, and for convex lens focal length is positive. Then concave lens, the focal length is minus 5 centimeter because the focal length is, and we know the combination of lenses. We know the formula of combination of lenses: 1 upon f equal to 1 upon f1 plus 1 upon f2 minus d f1 f2. In the question, they said that the image will be formed at infinity. So the focal length of the combination should be equal to infinity. If the parallel ray of light are coming and the image is forming at infinity, so the focal length is equal to infinity. So we put f equal to infinity and solve these equation. The answer is coming out to be 15 centimeter. So our third answer is the right answer. In the 23rd question, they asked the escape velocity from the Earth's surface is v. The escape velocity from the surface of another planet having a radius 4 times that of Earth and the same mass density is. This is our Earth. The escape velocity is equal to v. The radius of Earth, let us assume, is re. For planet, the radius is 4 times the Earth velocity. In the question, they have given mass density is equal. We know the formula of escape velocity, v equal to square root of 2gmr. We can write mass in terms of density equal to density into volume. So 4 by 3 pi r cube. So when we solve these terms, then because 2 is constant, r is constant, g is constant, 4 is constant, 3 is constant, pi is constant, and mass density is same. So the escape velocity is directly proportional to the radius of the planet. So when we solve the escape velocity for Earth and planet, then the answer is coming out to be planet velocity is 4 times the Earth velocity. So our first answer is the right answer. In the 24th question, they asked an electromagnetic wave of wavelength lambda. This is the electromagnetic wave incident on a photosensitive surface, negligible work function. That means to remove an electron, we need not to expend any energy. If m is the mass of the photoelectron, so an electron is ejecting from the photosensitive surface of mass m, emitted from the surface has de Broglie wavelength lambda d. So we know de Broglie wavelength lambda d is equal to h by p, and we can write p in terms of energy as h square root of 2me, where ek is the kinetic energy of the electron. We know the energy of electron, we also can write as Ek equal to h nu, hc by lambda. So lambda d is equal to h square root of 2m. In place of Ek we can write hc by lambda. So h lambda divided by 2mc, and we solve this equation in terms of lambda, then lambda is equal to 2mc divided by h lambda d square. So our fourth answer is the right answer. In the 25th question, they asked a lens of large focal length and large aperture is best suited as an objective of an astronomical telescope since a large aperture contribute to the quality and visibility of the image. Yes. A large area of objective ensure better light catching power. Yes. A large aperture provides a better resolution. Yes. So all of the above is the right answer. In the 26th question, they asked two charged spherical conductors of radius r1 and r2 are connected by a wire. These two conductors are connected by a wire. Then the ratio of surface charge densities of the sphere is. So these conductors are connected by a wire. So the potential will be same for both. We know the surface charge density is equal to charge divided by surface area. So charge divided by area is equal to q divided by 4 pi r square. So sigma equal to q by 4 pi r square. And potential is same. We can write kq by r1, kq2 by r2. So q1 by q2 is equal to r1 by r2. So we want to calculate the ratio of the surface charge density, sigma 1 divided by sigma 2. So q1 divided by 4 pi r1 ka square, q2 divided by 4 pi r2 square. So we put q1 q2 from the equation number 2 and solve. So our third answer is the right answer. In the 27th question, they asked for a plane electromagnetic wave propagating in x direction. So the wave is propagating in x direction. Which one of the following combination give the correct possible direction for electric and magnetic field respectively? We know that for the electromagnetic wave, electric field vector, magnetic field vector and the direction of the wave propagation are perpendicular to each other. And this is a lengthy question because we have to solve this question from the option. So we have pick option 1 and multiply E cross B, because magnetic field and electric field are perpendicular to each other, but when we are solving this option 1, so minus j minus j minus j k minus j k, all the four terms. First term is 0 because j cap cross j cap is 0. Then j cap cross k cap is equal to I cap. Then k cross j is equal to I cap. And the E cross B is coming out to be 0. So no, from this equation we get E and B are parallel to each other. No, electric field and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other. So from option B we again solve. J k k, all the four terms. First is 0, then j cross k is I cap, k cross j cap is minus I cap, then 0. So again it is E cross B is coming out to be 0. So no, electric field and magnetic field vectors are not perpendicular to each other. Then option C, minus j cap minus j cap minus j minus k plus k minus j plus k minus k, all the four terms. First is 0, second is j k and I, then k j and I. So minus I cap will come and minus is already there, so plus I cap is equal to 0, 2 I cap. So E cross B is not equal to 0 and the value of E cross B is in the x direction, so which is the direction of wave propagating given in the question. So our option C is the right option. In the 28th question, they asked a cup of coffee cools from 90 to 80 in T minutes when the room temperature is 20 centigrade. The time taken by the similar cup of coffee to cool from 80 degree to 60 degree at a room temperature same at 20 degrees centigrade is. We know Newton's law of cooling, T1 minus T2 divided by T is equal to K T1 plus T2 divided by 2 minus T0. In the first case, the cup of coffee is cooling from 90 to 80 degrees. So T1 and T2. We put all these terms, and the room temperature is 20 degrees centigrade. So in place of T0, we put 20. In the second case, the coffee is cooling from 80 degree to 60 degree centigrade. So 80 minus 60 divided by T2, and all the terms. We divide both the equation 2 by 3 and try to solve this equation in terms of T2. The answer T2 is coming out to be 13 by 5 T. So our third answer is the right answer. In the 29th question, they asked the equivalent capacitance of the combination shown in the. This is C, one capacitor, two capacitor and three capacitor. Capacitance of all the capacitors are same. We can see that the potential at this point and this point is same, and the potential at point X and at point Y is same. Vx is equal to Vy. So when the potential is same, no current will flow through XY circuit. So we can remove this capacitor, and our final circuit is one capacitor here, one capacitor here, and these two capacitors are in parallel combination. We know in parallel combination the equivalent capacitance is the sum of both the capacitance. So C plus C is equal to 2C. So our third answer is the right answer. In the 30th question, if force F and acceleration A and time T are chosen as a fundamental physical quantities, find the dimension of energy. This question will be we can do this question by two method, but for me it is much simpler. So I have written energy in terms of, we know work is equal to energy is equal to force multiplied by distance, and we know acceleration is equal to displacement divided by time square. So we can write displacement in terms of acceleration and time is at square. So we have written the energy in terms of F, A and T. So it is matches with third option. So our third answer is the right answer. Thank you.